So let's say morals have to do with you as an individual.
Okay.
Okay. And ethics has to do with how you treat me and how I treat you.
Oh.
So that works?
Okay.
Okay. So meaning that it's difficult to have ethics all by yourself. See what I'm saying? So ethics would apply to how you interact with other people, how you behave around other people, your manners, your etiquette, and those so-called qualities that we all enjoy in someone. How do they interact? This is one of the reasons why some women, when we're talking about dating and romance, there are some women that may date a guy who has morals but will dump him because of his lack of ethics.
Okay.
You see how that works?
Now I do.
Now, if you do, explain it back to me now.
Okay, so morals are like the standards I have, but ethics is how I apply standards to other people and how they reciprocate that to me.
Okay, good. Now, give me an example of how a man can have morals, and then when he takes the woman out to a restaurant to dine, he has no ethics.
Well, you're making me think.
Well, that's my job, you know?
I would say, like maybe, and please correct me if I go astray. If a guy has morals, maybe he only eats grass-fed beef.
Okay, let's talk about morals with the woman. Let's keep it on romance. Okay, so the woman acknowledges that he has morals. Now, how can a woman tell if a man has morals? Once they start talking and once they start hanging out, she'll pick up, oh, he's got morals. How can you tell a man has morals if you meet a man, talk with him, and chit-chat maybe at a party or something, and you guys are planning a date? So how can you tell that he has morals, or how can you sense that he has morals?
Well, what I'm seeing in the conversation, I think, is really ethics, because it's how he's treating me.
Okay, that is true. But those morals, you could tell that he's got morals by the way. Well, like I said, you really can't tell, but I said the telltale signs in the beginning would be, say, how he talks.
Okay.
Because he'll begin his conversation with I don't do blank. I do not smoke cigarettes. I do not smoke pot. I do not get drunk. That's not my thing. And I do not look at, adult films on the internet. And then when you look at him and a very shapely, scantily clad female walks by, his eyes don't divert. They stay focused on the woman that he's talking to.
Okay.
And so there's lots of pretty other girls walking around, and he ignores them. So she'll get a sense of his morals.
Okay.
You see how that works now? Because what his actions are matching what he says. That's all you really got to go by, because you've only been chatting with him for 5 or 10 or 15 minutes.
Yeah.
Now, when he decides to take her to a restaurant and he's not satisfied with the meal, and he's rude and he's obnoxious and he doesn't want to pay, she says, okay, now he lacks ethics, because he has a moral compass for himself, but when it comes to other people, he has no code. He has no etiquette. He has no empathy. He has no feeling for the server or the chef, or giving them a chance to maybe repair the meal or something like that.
Okay.
And this is why some women tell me, well, I did like the guy until I took him out. Or took him out. It sounds like she heard him, right?
Until we agreed to go out.
Yeah, until we agreed to go out. And then we did go out, and I saw that he didn't have, the ethics that I guess I was looking for.
Okay.
So that's, there's more to morals and ethics than what I'm just saying, but I'm just saying that's kind of a safe approach to it, because you have a compass, do you not?
I do.
And a compass for what you consider to be right and wrong.
Yeah.
And that compass has set boundaries.
Yes.
Give me an example of these, of how a compass would work for you when it comes to romance and dating.
When it comes to romance and dating, somebody who is...
But we're talking about you.
Okay.
Like, okay, here's how my morals or my compass would activate when I find myself in a conversation with a man who is interested in me, how do your morals activate? How does the compass show up?
I would say it's a response to what's happening in the conversation. Like if he touches me when I don't really know him and there's no reason to touch me.
Okay, then that's a reflection on him. Tell me about you.
Well, that's a boundary that I'm setting up.
Okay, but tell me about your morals, though. So are you saying that, so then that would be your compass or alarm that would go off that he touched you?
Yeah. When there was no need for it.
I see what you're saying.
And he's new. Where we're not establishing, like there's no need to touch the small of my back. There's no need to
touch your what?
The small of my back.
What does that mean?
Right, kind of like at your waist.
Oh, I see what you mean. Okay.
On the backside, and or not asking, like offering a hand to lead me somewhere. Like that's different than taking my hand and dragging me somewhere.
Okay, so your moral code tells you that is wrong.
It makes me question what's going on.
My question was, morals is not a question.
Oh, okay.
You know that it is wrong. And you have every right to set the standard. Because morals are different all over the world. What's morally wrong in one country is not necessarily morally wrong in another country.
Okay.
For example, what's morally wrong in this country might be certain ages when it comes to getting married, whereas in other countries it may not be considered morally wrong. Right. Or maybe even in some parts of the country, with the parents' consent, someone could get married at a very questionable young age. But then there are some people who will say, well, even though it's legal, it's against my morals to marry someone so young.
Okay.
Because that's the standard they set for themselves.
Okay.
All right. So when you meet someone that is obviously interested in you, and you have a certain standard, a moral code, a compass of what is right and wrong for you, for Kate, and that is violated, how do you respond? How do you let the man know that a moral is being violated?
I likely withdraw.
When you say withdraw, explain what you do.
I'll like physically remove myself from the situation, or I'll kind of shut down and not necessarily engage at the level I was engaging before. Okay,
but you would still stay there.
I may remove myself. It depends.
You might remove yourself. What would it depend on?
It would depend on how significant the boundary was that was violated.
Okay, well, let's start with any boundary that was, whether it's a misdemeanor or a felony.
Okay.
You know what I mean? A felony would be a serious matter.
Yes.
A felony might even jump into what we call the law of the land. Okay. All right? Because you might say, well, that was serious. But to some people, it wouldn't necessarily mean the law of the land has to step in, especially if he didn't touch you. Because if a man starts talking to you in a way to where you feel trapped and you want to get away from the conversation, he keeps like following you around the party, that's going to be kind of difficult to call the police on.
Right, but that's when you leave. Just altogether leave the party.
You leave the party altogether?
Yeah.
Okay, so that man cost you an event.
They can.
Okay, and how could you have prevented that? By not engaging in the first place.
Okay.
All right. So, and of course, you can see why I'm a strong advocate of intuition.
Yes.
I'm a strong advocate of it because men will tie up your time. They will tie up your emotional energy.
Yes.
And they will declare you off limits to someone you may want to meet, and that person may want to meet you.
Absolutely.
But then the other person doesn't know, what's going on. Now, why are women so courteous to undesirable men? Why are women so courteous to undesirable men?
I can't speak for all women.
Well,
I will
talking
speak
about
for me.
Okay, that's when you speak for you and all the women who side with you.
Okay. I would say women are courteous or overly courteous to, you said undesirable men?
Yes.
Because I think part of it is that we would want somebody to give us a chance if we made a blunder. And so we're trying to extend grace that we may not necessarily give ourselves. And then the other thing might be kind of like the what if. Like, oh, but what if he really is the one?
Again, I see what you mean. So now we're going back to lack of intuition again.
Yeah.
Because if you have intuition, you'll know.
Yeah.
You'll know. You know.
I think women who are overly courteous to undesirable men, they are afraid of missing an opportunity.
Okay, and you don't think that they've been institutionalized?